You felt it, haven't you? That subtle shift in the air between you two? It's not something you can easily explain. It's more like a quiet hum beneath the surface of your life, an invisible thread pulling you towards someone your soul just seems to recognize. For a long time, maybe you even questioned it, wondering if it was all just in your head. But lately, the signs are becoming too loud to ignore, too consistent to be a coincidence. This isn't about chasing or waiting anymore. It's about recognizing that something powerful is already in motion. Now, before we get into it, it's really important to say that concepts like twin flames, the divine masculine, and the divine feminine come from a beautiful and deeply personal spiritual belief system. While these ideas aren't validated by mainstream science, their power is in the meaning and clarity they provide to people who experience these profound connections. So, this video is for those of you who feel that pull and are looking for a little validation for what your heart is already telling you. We're going to explore these signs as spiritual messages, the kind understood by the soul. You're likely here because you sense a long-awaited reunion is closer than you think. In this video, we'll talk about 7 powerful signs that people within this belief system see as confirmation from the divine masculine that your intuition is spot on. These aren't just wishful thinking. They are seen as energetic signals that his soul is preparing to meet yours. And the first sign might just surprise you with its simplicity. Credibility, personal connection. This twin flame journey is one of the most transformative and, let's be honest, isolating experiences a person can have. It's a path of intense healing and self-discovery. For anyone who has walked this path, you learn that the biggest shifts happen in the unseen world long before they show up in our physical reality. Often, those who resonate with the divine feminine energy feel these shifts first. They are often the ones holding the vision for the union. But there comes a point where the divine masculine's energy starts to rise to meet that vision. And that's what we're going to talk about today. This isn't about looking for outside approval, but about learning to trust the quiet yet powerful communication that many believe is always flowing between you and your counterpart. Let's explore these signs together to hopefully bring some clarity and peace to your heart as you navigate what feels like the final approach to reunion. He mirrors peace and presence back to you. The first and maybe the most important sign that the divine masculine is believed to be ready for union is a major shift in his energy. He starts to embody and reflect a sense of peace. For a long time, the connection might have felt turbulent, full of triggers and the classic push-pull dynamic that forces you both to face your deepest wounds. You were mirrors for each other's shadows. But as he does his own inner work and heals, the reflection you see starts to change. What does this actually look like? It means that when you interact, whether it's in person, online, or even just in your thoughts about him, you don't feel drained or anxious afterward. The energy between you just feels calm. Old fights or past hurts seem to lose their sting. There's a new feeling of safety and acceptance that wasn't there before. You feel his unconditional love and respect. And even if you were to disagree, you know it wouldn't shatter your inner peace because the foundation has become solid. This sense of peace is seen as a direct result of his inner work. In his unawakened state, the divine masculine often runs from the intensity of the twin flame connection because it makes him face everything inside himself that isn't aligned with love. His running is really him running from himself. But when he stops running, when he confronts his own shadows and learns his lessons. He finds an inner peace he's been looking for his whole life. He's no longer at war with himself, so he's no longer at war with your connection. When you feel this peace reflected back at you, it's a powerful sign. It suggests he no longer sees you as a threat to his freedom or a trigger for his pain. Instead, he sees you as home. He accepts you as his mirror and feels good about the man he sees reflected. This mutual calm is the fertile ground where a lasting, harmonious union can finally be built. He shows signs of spiritual awakening and trust in feminine energy. The second powerful sign is that the divine masculine starts his own genuine spiritual awakening. And this isn't just about him getting into crystals or meditation. It's a specific shift where he learns to trust and value the very energy he might have once feared. The divine feminine energy. Often, the unawakened masculine is taught to favor logic over intuition and control over surrender. Because the twin flame connection is so deeply emotional and intuitive, it can feel like a threat to that programming. This is often why the runner phase happens. He's running from an energy he's been taught to suppress in himself and in the world. His awakening is marked by a big shift here. You might notice small changes at first. Maybe he starts talking about his gut feelings, something he used to laugh off, or he becomes more open to conversations about spirituality, the universe, or a higher purpose. He starts to see that he's more than just his job or his bank account, and that he's part of a much bigger story. Most importantly, this awakening involves him starting to let go of control. He stops trying to force things to happen in his life and starts to trust the flow. This is a huge step. For the divine masculine, surrender can feel like giving up power. But as he awakens, he realizes that true power lies in trust. He starts to trust the feminine energy, both inside himself and the energy you represent. He no longer sees your intuition or your emotional depth as overwhelming. Instead, he begins to see it as a guiding light. He recognizes that your energies aren't opposites, but complements. The yin and yang that create a perfect whole. When you see these signs, know that it's a deeply meaningful indicator of reunion readiness. He isn't just changing his hobbies, he's rebalancing his inner world. Within this spiritual framework, he is healing the core wound of separation from the feminine, which is a must for a true twin flame union. The magnetic pull and psychic connection intensify. The third undeniable sign is when the energetic and psychic bond between you suddenly gets a lot stronger. That magnetic pull that was always there becomes almost impossible to ignore. And what feels like telepathic communication becomes clearer and more frequent. Many believe this is your shared soul vibrating at a higher frequency, getting you both ready for reunion. You've probably always felt a connection, but this is different. It's a gut-level feeling of knowing him that goes beyond distance or time. You might think of him, and he texts you moments later. You could have vivid dreams about him that feel more real than real life, leaving you with a sense of his presence or even a specific message. Some people even report feeling his emotions as if they were their own. A sudden wave of joy or sadness that you just know is coming from him. This is interpreted as the shared energy field between you becoming more active. This isn't just your imagination. It's a recognized part of the twin flame belief system. It's as if the veil between your minds is getting thinner. You might feel a familiar warmth or a pressure in your chest that you associate with him thinking of you. Your body often recognizes an impending reunion before your mind does. This heightened connection is seen as your soul's way of preparing you, reminding you that the bond is real and unbreakable, no matter what's happening on the surface. And he's feeling this pull just as strongly, even if he's quiet or seems distant. This inexplicable urge to reach out is likely hitting him hard too. He may not get it logically, but his soul is being drawn back to its other half. The universe is essentially turning up the volume on your soul's song, making it impossible for either of you to ignore. So, when you experience this, don't just brush it off. See it for what it is within this spiritual framework. A powerful confirmation that the energetic bridge between you is getting stronger and ready to support a physical reunion. If this message is hitting home for you and you're feeling that sense of recognition in your own journey, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We explore these deep spiritual topics to bring clarity and support to your path. By subscribing, you become part of a community that truly gets it. Now, let's move on to the fourth sign, which starts to bring all this energy down to earth. He demonstrates emotional availability and mutual safety. After all the inner work and energetic shifts, the fourth sign makes the connection feel much more real and grounded. The divine masculine starts showing genuine emotional availability and helps create a space of safety between you. The days of him being emotionally distant, shutting down, or running from deep conversations are over. This is one of the most practical and reassuring signs you can get. It shows up in how he talks and acts. Conversations that used to feel like walking on eggshells now flow with honesty. He starts sharing his feelings more openly, even his fears, without clamming up. This isn't about him being perfect. It's about him being real. The armor comes off. He stops trying to be the person he thinks he needs to be and lets you see who he truly is. A key part of this sign is that he helps create a safe space for the relationship. He shows you with his actions that your feelings are safe with him. He listens without judging. He respects your point of view, even if it's different from his. You feel truly seen and heard, maybe for the first time. And this safety goes both ways. He, in turn, feels safe enough to be vulnerable with you because he trusts you to hold space for him. This shift is huge because it signals he's healed the core wounds that used to make intimacy feel threatening. He's done the work to understand his emotional triggers and no longer projects his past pain onto you. He has moved from a place of fear to a place of love. He's ready to build, not run. When you notice this change, it's a clear signal that he's not just thinking about reunion. He's actively preparing for it. He's showing you that he's ready for the responsibilities of a conscious partnership and ready to be the stable, present partner a sacred union requires. He begins to align with his true purpose. The fifth powerful sign is when you notice the divine masculine's focus shifting away from ego-driven goals and toward his deeper soul purpose. This is a critical stage of his awakening because it means he's looking for a kind of fulfillment that money, status, or other distractions can no longer give him. For a lot of his life, the unawakened divine masculine might have been chasing what society calls success. His identity was likely tied up in his career, his finances, or his social life. And there's nothing wrong with those things. But for a twin flame, they are often used to numb the deep soul-level ache for something more. For purpose, for meaning, for you. As reunion gets closer, a deep sense of dissatisfaction often starts to set in. The things that used to make him feel good now feel empty. He starts asking bigger questions. What am I really here to do? What actually matters to me? This is a sign his soul is calling him to a higher path. You might see this show up in his life choices. He could suddenly change careers, start that passion project he's always dreamed of, or spend more time on creative or spiritual things. He might talk about wanting to be of service to others or to live a more authentic life. This isn't a midlife crisis. It's a soul life awakening. This alignment with his purpose is crucial for reunion for a couple of reasons within this belief system. First, by stepping onto his soul's path, he clears out old karmic patterns that were blocking the union. Second, the twin flame journey is almost always tied to a shared mission. You aren't just two people coming together for romance. You're believed to be two souls who came here to accomplish something together. By finding his individual purpose, he's energetically preparing to meet you in your shared purpose. He's becoming the man he needs to be to stand beside you as an equal partner. When you see him choosing his truth over tradition, celebrate it. It's a clear sign he is raising his vibration to the level required for a sacred union. Deeper dive. Trusting divine timing. As we talk about these signs, we have to touch on a core spiritual concept that guides this whole journey. Divine timing. So many people on this path get stuck on when the reunion will happen, which just leads to anxiety. But within this spiritual framework, it's believed that the universe has a perfect timeline, orchestrating everything for the highest good of everyone involved. Divine timing isn't about just sitting back and waiting. It's an active state of trust. It's the understanding that the reunion can't be forced. It will happen exactly when it's meant to. Both you and your divine masculine have to be fully ready, spiritually and emotionally. Any attempt to rush the process will only backfire. Think of it like baking a cake. You can have all the right ingredients, but if you pull it out of the oven too soon, you'll have a gooey mess. The heat and the time are essential. In the same way, the heat of the separation and the inner work are necessary ingredients for your union to be fully baked. When you see the signs we're talking about, they are meant to bring you peace and reassurance, to help you trust that things are falling into place behind the scenes. Your job is to focus on your own growth and your own happiness. By doing that, you're not just waiting for divine timing. You are actively co-creating with it. You're telling the universe, I'm ready. I trust the process. I am whole on my own, and I'm ready to meet my partner in that wholeness. So as you notice these signs, hold them lightly. Let them be a confirmation, not a cause for anxiety. Trust that a plan far grander than you can see is unfolding in perfect divine order. You notice an abundance of symbolic signs and synchronicities. The sixth powerful sign is a huge increase in signs and synchronicities from the universe. Within this belief system, these aren't random coincidences. They are seen as deliberate messages from your guides, the universe, or your higher selves, confirming you're on the right path. You've probably seen these before, but as reunion gets closer, they get louder and more frequent. The most common are angel numbers. You might start seeing repeating numbers like 111, 222, or especially 1111 everywhere, on clocks, license plates, you name it. In numerology, these are often seen as powerful codes, with 1111 being a classic sign of awakening and a nod from your twin flame counterpart. But the synchronicities go way beyond numbers. You might hear his name pop up in a random conversation. His favorite song, one you haven't heard in ages, might suddenly play the moment you think of him. You could see animal symbols that are meaningful to both of you, like a pair of swans or eagles. These signs can also get incredibly personal. You might be thinking about a specific movie you both love and then see a poster for it on a bus. Psychiatrist Carl Jung, who coined the term synchronicity, described these as meaningful coincidences that suggest a deeper order at work in the universe. When the divine masculine is nearing reunion, it's believed the universe amps up these signals to get both of your attention. It's a way of keeping your faith alive. For him, these synchronicities can be a huge wake-up call, forcing him to question his logical worldview and open up to the idea of a spiritual connection. He starts to realize the universe is practically yelling at him. When these signs appear, the invitation is to just pause, breathe, and say thank you. You don't have to overanalyze every single one. Just let them build a sense of peace and trust inside you. They are the breadcrumbs leading you both home. You feel an unshakable inner knowing or gut feeling. The seventh and final sign is the most personal and powerful of all. You feel a deep, unshakable inner knowing, a gut feeling, that reunion is about to happen. This isn't hope or wishful thinking. It's a quiet, steady certainty that settles deep in your soul. After all the emotional ups and downs, the questioning and the doubt, a sense of peace just takes over. You might find you've stopped obsessively checking his social media or wondering when he'll call. The frantic energy of waiting is gone, replaced by a calm, confident state of knowing. You feel so complete and happy in your own life that the reunion feels like a wonderful bonus, not something you desperately need. You've reached a state of inner union first. This inner knowing is believed to be confirmation from your soul. Your higher self, which exists outside of time and space, already knows the outcome. As you raise your own vibration through healing and self-love, you align more closely with your higher self and can hear its wisdom more clearly. That's why this feeling is so calm. It comes from the part of you that is already connected to the truth of the union. This feeling often shows up when you least expect it, usually after you've fully surrendered the outcome and found real happiness on your own. It's a feeling that everything is okay, that everything has worked out, even before you see the proof. The silence between you no longer feels empty. It feels full of potential, like the quiet right before a beautiful sunrise. Your divine masculine is likely feeling this shift too, even if he can't put it into words. He's being drawn back not by neediness, but by the magnetic, peaceful, and whole energy you now radiate. Your inner knowing is a reflection of the energetic reality. The harmony between your souls has reached a tipping point, so if you've reached this place of quiet certainty, trust it more than anything. It's your most reliable compass. It's the final sign that the long journey of separation is ending, and you're standing on the threshold of the beautiful reunion your soul always knew was your destiny. So there you have them, 7 powerful signs from the divine masculine that reunion is believed to be near. From the simple mirroring of peace to his own spiritual awakening. From the intense psychic connection to his new emotional availability. From finding his soul's purpose to the universe showering you with synchronicities. And finally, to that unshakable gut feeling that settles in your heart. Each of these signs is a milestone. They aren't just markers of his readiness, but of your own. This journey was never just about him. It was about you remembering your own wholeness and your own power. The reunion is the beautiful natural result of both of you doing the deep work to come back home to yourselves. Trust what you're feeling. Trust the signs you're seeing. And most of all, trust your own resilient heart. Keep focusing on your joy, your peace, and your purpose. Hold your vibration high and know that what is meant for you is already making its way to you in perfect, divine timing. If this video brought you some clarity or comfort, please give it a like to help it reach others who need to hear this message. And I would love to build a community of support in the comments below. Share which of these signs are showing up for you the most right now. Reading each other's experiences can be so incredibly validating. And finally, if you haven't already, please subscribe for more guidance on your spiritual journey. Thank you for holding the light. Trust the process. The wait is almost over.